Joetta Nelson.
Will you spell that for us?
Joetta Nelson, Nelson.
And where are you from?
I'm from Albion,
Nebraska.
Nebraska.
What's your job? You're a what type teacher?
I teach 6th grade at Genoa Public School.
Okay. What subject?
History, social studies teacher for 5th and 6th grade.
Okay. Have you talked to the people about the trail through in your classroom? Have you had discussions about the trail?
Yeah, what we got was a brochure through the 4th grade, and then I had to be kind of the coordinator through our school. So from that literature, I made copies of it and gave it to all the teachers, and then I taught for about 5 weeks about the Mormon Trail. We never had any of the literature before, so we really hadn't taught about it before.
Does it appear in much of the history books in this area?
Not in our area at all. That's why this literature that we got was so important, because it had a lot of facts and just general information with the journals and like that we'd never had before. And a lot of it had about things in Genoa that we never knew about our own town.
Would you say it's been a positive experience for the kids? Have they taken it well to learn the stuff?
They've been real positive about it. A lot of the kids have, looked into different things and just the whole idea. We had 130 students get on with the Mormon Trail, the wagon train, which I thought was pretty impressive with the size of our school. And the parents were wanting to do a lot with it also. They encouraged the kids to do it.
What were some of the experiences and what were some of the comments the kids would make after they got off of the trail?
Well, a lot of it was that they couldn't believe how cold they got so fast. A lot of the stories I read to them from the journals that we got through the literature was about a lot of the people as they were walking, how they got so frostbite and had to have things amputated. And just on this experience, just the little coldness that they got, they couldn't realize how people could go on with being so cold.
So would you say the kids have a new respect for what the pioneers in this area had to go through as they traveled from here to Utah?
I think they have a big respect for what they've gotten to learn about through the coldness and everything. Maybe they'll appreciate their own home style now compared to what the pioneers had to go through at that time.
Do you have any questions?
Speak to him, but I'll ask you a question. If the Mormon Trail is such a big part of Genoa's history and it's the whole thing behind Genoa, why isn't it in your history books?
Well, generally our history books are printed out of like California and Texas, and so what we buy is just through that area. What I teach is not so much use the history books as a resource. And before this, we really didn't have access to all this literature. And like I said, Genoa was one of the first way stations for the Mormons. And even in our history books there at town, we didn't have this information. And I talked to a lot of people last night, and they said, they grew up in Genoa and they didn't know with even the name of the town, Genoa. There was a lot of misconception about that it was named after the Mormons, or that the Mormons named it. But yet then they were saying that it was named after an Indian chief, one of the Pawnee Indian chiefs too. So we're still kind of finding the history on that part too, because people lived there for years and didn't even know that about their own town.
Do you know why? Have you figured out what it's named for yet?
Well, basically they're saying that the Mormons named it, but it was after a Pawnee Indian chief whose name was Genoa. They always said before it was named after Genoa, Italy, from Mormons who came from Italy. So that was kind of the misconception on that part too.
Do you think you'll add more about the Mormon Trail and the Mormon history to your classes now?
Well, this year I'm teaching 6th grade. Next year I'll be 2nd grade. So the type of literature I'll be getting for that, I have to kind of change it for the 2nd grade level. But the thing is that all the teachers now have access to it. The 7th and 8th grade kids that also came on the Mormon Trail too, their history teachers have also gotten access to it. I gave it to some other towns of people that I knew in different towns, which they never had access to it too. So I think that will help their program.
Do the kids feel a part of the Mormon Trail now that they found out it's in their own backyard?
Oh, I definitely think so. We had like the Mormon Trail, the wagon tracks and things like that. A lot of kids didn't even know anything about that either. Just little things about our own town that they didn't realize. They've always had the big, it's about the Mormon Trail at the park. And people go and read it but don't really think about it. And I think this experience of the trail actually going through our town, and the town prepared pretty well for the actual trip, and getting involved, seeing their parents involved, made them realize that we were part of history.
What about the literature? Why did you buy some more literature?
I bought some for art because, like I said, I'll be the art teacher next year too for 2nd grade, and needed some different ideas. And the lady I talked to talked about some of the things that she did, and then I can use that in the history class too. The other book I bought was, it starts from when they were in England and goes all the way to Salt Lake City. Most of what I get was just from Nauvoo, and doesn't talk that much about from Europe. So that's why they encouraged me to buy it that way.
Do
Did the kids get extra credit for dressing up?
Yes, they did. That was their final project, and all they had to do was not wear shorts, no sandals, and no midriff shirts, and everybody did it except for 2. And because that was final project, they just had to realize, like especially the girls with the dresses, how hard it was to walk and everything, the dresses, and the boys. They like to wear shorts around here, and for them to wear jeans, it was tough on them. And so I think it was pretty successful just in that.
Good.
Okay, thanks.